And hello, everyone. This is Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois, here on CCW TV. Thank you for joining us yet again for another round of comic reviews and conversation. Let's jump into Marvel because we've been accused of having a DC slant and only liking the Marvel stuff. We never liked Marvel.
Which is funny because we get it from both ends.
I know.
Some people are like, you only like DC, why you rip on Marvel? And then there's people all the time like, you know, you only talk about Marvel and like Marvel. Why don't you talk about some DC? It's like the people aren't reading or watching the same thing. I don't get it.
Go back a few months. I forgot the episode number, but I think the episode was called "Do We Really Hate Jeff Johns?" Remember that? Mm-hmm. Remember that? And that was when we were addressing all the people who were getting on us because we were ripping on Jeff Johns because we weren't that happy with what Jeff Johns does. So just so you know, we do not play favorites here. We do not play favorites on this channel. We are fickle.
Except apparently with John Layman. I'm not allowed to say anything bad about him.
No, John's special, no. He has to eat with a plastic fork. I mean a plastic spork. They don't give him a real fork and spoon. So don't. We'll discuss that later. Incredible Hercules number 138, and I still don't understand this whole renumbering thing.
It's
stupid.
I
know. So that when they revert back to Hulk or something,
they don't need to because Incredible Hulk's already out, and they reverted to it after 600. It's stupid.
I know. It's just,
we actually never did talk about that.
No,
about like how there's the Red Hulk book, then there's Incredible Hulk, and then Incredible Hercules was the Incredible Hulk. When the Incredible Hulk's coming out with the old numbering, it's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. The Assault on New Olympus story arc that was teased at the end of Agents of Atlas X-Men picks up here in Incredible Hercules.
Well, this is actually the second part. The first part was in one shot.
Yeah, in a one shot. Right. But I'm just saying it's now in the main Hercules book, and we see. This is a Hercules I remember from back in the Bob Layton days, jovial, funny, backslapping, away from this really friggin' dark, morose, brooding type crap that you see in the other superhero books. This is a nice fresh breath of air.
Excuse me.
What happens here is that Hercules and some of the New Avengers and the Mighty Avengers have to take on the Olympus Corporation to capture the Continuum registered trademark.
And Olympus, it's run by Hera.
Hera is Zeus's wife.
Yes.
Who
Hercules' stepmother.
It's Hercules' stepmom, because Zeus got around back in the day.
He sure did.
And it's really it's fun because in this story arc, Greg Pak is kind of using the juxtaposition of superheroes as modern-day mythology versus, and going up against the old mythologies. So it's a clever little story device here, and Greg Pak really knows his mythology, which is cool, and sets up a very intriguing puzzle that the Avengers have to work through. So what's my problem with this book? First, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
All right,
the book is funny.
It's very funny.
It's well written.
Yes.
The dialogue is well done.
The characterization is good.
Characterization is great. They're clever asides. The story altogether, and the book itself altogether is solid. Aside from a couple little minor quibbles I had with the art. But what is the problem I had with the book? The Avengers are too fucking smart. Because they have a problem that in their own book they can't fucking solve. And that to me is what really cheeses me off.
But we had this conversation when the New Avengers were in Agents of Atlas, how the New Avengers and Spider-Man, how they were really smart in that book.
They're very smart.
And then you give Greg Pak the Avengers, and again, they're supposed to be Earth's mightiest heroes. And yeah, it's not. But see, that's not really the problem. The problem is that you don't have the problem with this book. We have a problem with New Avengers. Because the Avengers in all the other books, like Mighty Avengers, and when they show up in like Atlas and stuff like that, those are the Avengers that I like.
Yeah.
These are the Avengers that I like. That's how you're supposed to write the Avengers.
Right. So, you see, and I was being, the problem, I was being facetious. It just goes to show the stark contrast of what happens with particular characters when they're in the hands of a different writer. Yeah. And you know, Greg Pak could have gone the standard way. He could have gotten
the whole first half of the issue could have been them talking about their plan over coffee. Or something, instead of making their quips and showing everything, they could have just been having a coffee, just doing nothing.
Yeah, the thing that kills me too is that and this for an Avengers book or a book with the Avengers, it had an awful lot of action.
Tons of action.
I wasn't accustomed to that. I wasn't accustomed to all the action. Wow.
Yeah, you know what? To draw a parallel to New Avengers, now that I just thought of this, it's like New Avengers is like watching Dragon Ball Z. I know you never watched Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Z. What they would do is they would spend 10 episodes of Dragon Ball Z talking about what they're going to do to each other. And then they fight for 10 more episodes. That's what the New Avengers is like. They sit around for 5 issues talking about what they're going to do and what they make do to somebody else and what their plan is. And then they go and they do it.
Yeah.
And it says, you know what? In the first half of this book, they talk about what they're going to do. And then you know what? They go fucking do it.
Right. And it's funny, too, because with this book here, Greg Pak knows how to set things up. I was going, wow, I don't know how he's going to get the event, how the Avengers are going to infiltrate this.
Did you catch this little joke?
This bit. Yes. Yeah, well, of course, then, Hera picks up on that. Mm-hmm. Again, back to the mythology. We won't tell you how it fits in if you haven't read this yet. Let's just say, think about the Battle of Troy. And then it sets up the next cliffhanger where you have... the Avengers now have got to go into a knockdown, drag-out fight. Mm-hmm. I love how Greg Pak takes Ares off the board.
Yeah.
Which is really obvious, but, kind of clever. And it makes me wonder. Now, I'm wondering how the sales on this are going to go. You look at this cover... I mean, yeah, it's a nice Adi Granov cover. Oh, yeah. But you don't have, the Avengers logo slapped all over it. Mm-hmm. This is one of those cases where...
But I really wish they would have, because... All right. Finish your thought.
No, I'm saying, this isn't one of those cases where they really push that the Avengers are in this. They didn't put the Avengers logo on there.
Right, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because that's how come
But the Avengers are actually in here. The cover's not just a tease. And I know what you're going to say next about the Agents of Atlas feature.
What am I going to say?
They didn't put Jeff Parker's name on there.
They didn't put Jeff Parker's name on it. Yeah. But also, they couldn't have done the Agents of Atlas logo.
That would have been nice.
Because this looks so plain and boring. Again, getting back to Marvel's cover designs.
Yeah. You could have fit it there on the bottom.
You could have. You could easily have done it. This just looks so boring. Also featuring the Agents of Atlas.
Right. It's kind of like the old, they're just giving them a begrudging credit there.
It's kind of what it feels like. Yeah. But it's funny because in the Marvel previews, when this issue was solicited, it didn't even tell you that the Agents of Atlas were going to be in it.
Right.
They didn't even mention it in the solicitation. Marvel had to, in a Diamond Dateline, they had to release a thing telling retailers, oh, by the way, Agents of Atlas is going to be in it. Because in the original solicitation, they didn't even do it.
Right.
And it's this redheaded stepchild that Jeff Parker's wants to write and wants to do, and Marvel's just all right, here you go.
Whatever.
But anyway, getting back to this really quick, Agents of Atlas. This is the reason I'm buying Hercules now, is because Agents of Atlas is in it. Mm-hmm. But I've been wanting to read Hercules for a long time because a lot of people who come out here are always asking us, what do you think about Hercules? And now I'm kind of wishing that I would. I always knew it was a good book because I heard it was good, but it is an excellent book.
Well, Greg Pak, he made his name with the whole World War Hulk. Mm-hmm. So that seems to be the Marvel formula. Establish a name with an event, and then let them try to take something else and work with it. I know the whole thing with Incredible Hercules was a offshoot of World War Hulk because Hulk was taken off the table for a while until the friggin' Red Hulk showed up. So, yes, it is a good book, and as Jose said, you guys have been asking us to read it. We read it. We enjoyed it. And what can we say beyond that?
Good job.
Good job. When we come back, we will start wrapping up our reviews with another book that we love, and which I know is going to is gonna piss off some of the book's detractors that were already there. But you'll see when we come back. See you then.